Hi everyone, Linda Reed-Enever, and welcome to another Tips Tuesday session. This one is actually really huge. It's a huge list of stuff that we've got to go through today. But I have been asked to do this one a few times, and I was wrapping up the retreat on the weekend, the Blogging for Business retreat, and I decided that this was the time to do this one. Now, I'm just going to do a quick sound check because I've literally just hooked my computer back up this morning from coming through and just want to make sure that it is definitely all still going this morning. And it is, you can hear my audio in here. So this means we're okay and we're running reasonably well this morning. I hope that that's going well. Okay, so we are definitely here this morning. We're definitely going. So today's Tips Tuesday session is actually a full look at what's inside my toolkit when it comes to being able to share what we do, share how we run the businesses, and do a whole heap of things like that. So I'm very excited to be sharing this one with you this morning. If you have been wondering what is inside of our toolkit, hopefully we'll be able to share all of that with you, and it'll give you a few tips along the way. So I'm going to delve off because I've got a full list on screen. I haven't printed this list off to be able to talk to you about what tools we use, why we use them, etc., etc. Now, just as a full disclaimer, some of these tools we love so much, we are partners with, and I have used our affiliate or our referral partner links when I put this information together, and it's not going to affect my recommendation on the tool. It just is, these are the tools that we use, especially these ones are our big tools that we use right now. Now, I'm just going to give it 2 more seconds to let the internet find me. I'm also going to just give a chance for me to share through our session this morning through to BBB so that our people can come and join us this morning and get excited to start this one. Okie dokie. So give me 2 seconds and I should share it through to my marketing circle members as well. But we'll get started as best we possibly can this morning and get out there. So if you're here watching me, if this is the first time you've joined it, our Tips Tuesday sessions are normally this. They're maybe not as big as today's one, but they are definitely around the world of what tips are we using, how can we get in and share, and how can we work, and how can we market our business. So it's all about learning and picking up a few tips. Okay, I have my coffee in hand. I did get a bit of traffic on the way back, which is why I'm a little bit late starting today, and also most probably a little bit more flustered than what I would normally be. So first of all, let's start with the running the business side of tools. So there's lots of tools that we use to run our business. Now, I've kept them from the marketing point of view here, and I've kept them very simple in what we're looking at. So our running our business tools are, and I'm just going to pop them into the chat at the same time so that you can see them come up in chat, having to come through and get the full list. So we start with running their business. We start with our tools like a G Suite. So we use G Suite to run our email. We use it to run our Google Docs. We use it to share, and we use G Suite a number of areas from there. Now, I know there's a little bit of panic out there about whether Google's going to remove products or tools. At the moment, they're saying search. So we're still going to continue to use Google because we're finding that it works best for our teams. It allows us to be all cloud-based. It allows everything to sync up, and it allows for a remote team like ours to especially be able to work on multiple documents at once, which is huge for our team because we are literally all over the country. And even when I'm traveling or I'm running retreats or workshops or webinars, it allows me to be able to log in and not be so far away from the business and do those sorts of things. So the next question I get asked normally when we use G Suite is, what do we use for email signatures? And if any of you have received an email from me, I use YStamp, and YStamp is an amazing email signature. You can put multiple different emails in it that will help you be able to brand your email signature. So you can put your social links in there, you can brand it. Mine has a funky little regards text that signs off, that makes it look like I've signed the email. That looks quite cool going through. And you can also use things with it, like having your latest blog post or your latest tweet or your latest YouTube video RSS feed. And RSS is a syndicated feed that comes through, some gobbledygook that talks between systems on the web, but using an RSS feed to come through and give your latest blog post or your latest email. You can put in buttons, you can put in sales managers. It's a very cool tool when it comes to email optimization. Now, we've got a lot of tools to share, so please, bear with me as I keep going through this one. I don't want to distract you, and I don't want to talk to you from there. I don't want to get sidetracked onto one tool and then forget to do all of the others. Okay, the next one is booking calendars. Now, we've tested and we've trialed a couple of good booking calendars, but we made a firm decision in-house that Acuity is the booking calendar for us. And that is because we can add products and add-ons to it. We can have multiple different types of booking calendars. We embed our Acuity booking calendars into our courses in Thinkific. When we're putting courses together, it's on our websites. We can have specific calendars, just for particular members and those sorts of things as well. And we can, run coupon opportunities through it. It integrates with Stripe. It integrates with PayPal. I think it also integrates with Square. I haven't tried that. But it's a very, very handy tool within that space as well. So that is our organizational tool. That's our booking calendar, and that's Acuity. Look, some other top mentions out there are things like Book Like a Boss. MeetFox is another good one. It's all just depending on what you want to do. What we do love about Acuity is it syncs everything up to Zoom, and it sends multiple reminders to our people, both via email and via text, and we can set the rescheduling windows and those sorts of things as well. Okay, so we've got our G Suite that we use for our main, running the documents and emails. Y stand for email signatures, Acuity for our booking calendar. We use Salesflare for our CRM, and Salesflare is what I call the lazy person CRM, but it's actually a very, very smart and clever CRM. You sync it up to your calendars, to your emails, to your contacts, so that everything's going in there. It then puts all the appointments in there, the emails that you send people, and it basically prompts and reminds you to put in notes along the way. If you're an Android phone user, it also syncs up with the Android app to manage your calls and log your calls against your clients. So as long as you've got the client contact info in there, their phone number, their email, then it's going to register against the client. It's a very, very cool tool. It has some basic project management in it. And if you weren't managing 7 or 8 brands like us, maybe it is all you need from the world of project management. For us, we need some more in-depth project management tools for the team. So we use ClickUp for our project management. So that's our next tool that we're going into. So ClickUp is very, very good. It's a very detailed project manager. We can set up recurring tasks. We can set up templated tasks. We can set up how-tos, workflows. We can talk to each other. We can have a bit of a chat through ClickUp, and we can make sure that we're all on track being able to log into one project management system. And the one thing I will say to everyone in business is you actually do have projects. It's how you want to manage them, whether it's setting up emails, whether it's managing your social media, whatever it is. You've got a tool like that. And for us, ClickUp is that tool. ClickUp is a tool, and there was one rule in this office: if it wasn't in ClickUp, it didn't happen. So we make sure that our tasks and our operations and procedures are there. And the really handy thing about that is if I need to delegate something, or I'm off work, or Clive's off work, or something needs to be done, we can have a quick look at ClickUp, as well as Salesflare, looking from a sales point of view, but we can have a quick look at ClickUp and see where that client's project is, see where the activity is and what's going on. And if we need to delve in and do something along the way, we can do it. And one of the top tips I say when setting up a project manager of any sort, whether it's ClickUp or whatever one you choose to look at, do set it up with the steps and the procedures and the checklists going along the way, because it makes it a hell of a lot easier when you're handing that task over to someone else if you've got those things in there. And it also is a hell of a lot less for you to forget. So there's a less chance of you being able to forget stuff if you put those checklists in there, because once again, the more we get used to tasks, the more we do things, and then we forget those last little steps, those last little things that are key along the way. And that's why I'm a big believer in ClickUp. Okay, website-wise, we use WordPress as our website builder. We use Divi as our theme and our website, WordPress as our website builder. We use WP Engine as our website host. We use Divi as our theme builder. So that's the themes and the styles and the templates that we use to build the websites that we use in-house. We use WooCommerce for our shopping cart. And WooCommerce is, basically that allows us to be able to sell product and digital product and manage our inventory and our stock levels. And there's lots of add-ons that you can add depending on what you want to do. But in my years of trying, those are the top 3 that we foundations based on sites and we've tried Joomla, we've tried Drupal, we've tried all sorts of builders in our time, but they're the ones that we keep coming back to, and it's the system that works for us. But guys, remember, you've got to do your own due diligence on this sort of stuff. So what I'm saying to you here may not work for you, but you might want to go and have a bit of a delve in and have a look at those tools along the way. The next tool that is a must within our toolkit is Grammarly, and Grammarly is a grammar checking tool. It helps you look at whether you put the right prepositions in, and it's just a very, very handy tool to have. It also is what we use to run the copywriting disputes, or if there's a dispute in the office here about, how do we write something or do something like that, we normally leave it down to Grammarly if we can't decide from the proofreading point of view. And with a full team of copywriters here, that can happen from time to time. So Grammarly is a very, very handy tool. It just runs over it, spell checks it, grammar checks, and it looks at the tone, the style that you're writing in as well. Is it a professional tone? Is it a welcoming tone? And it just does a little bit more than your Word and your Google Docs. Helpful because it also has a Google Chrome extension, which means that it can tap into Chrome and be looking at your social media posts and those sorts of things for you as well. To teach online, we use a number of tools, and Thinkific, obviously being a Thinkific approved expert and ambassador, is one of my main tools that we use. Now, Thinkific is a course portal and it's a hosting platform to be able to teach online, and we do love it from those points of view. We teach front-end courses and back-end courses, and then we've also got we use Thinkific also to run some of our client coaching programs and put information in there so that there's a natural sequence and a workflow for our clients to follow through those coaching programs as well. Clive's very, very good at running his programs out through that way. My clients tend to move around a bit, but I am definitely looking at also implementing my clients going through the Thinkific backend process towards it later on this year. We use Zoom for our meetings and for our webinars, and whether that's, as part of our Thinkific courses, and we've got, a monthly webinar or a monthly guided catch-up session, we use Zoom for that. We use it for our skills webinars here in BBB. We use it for our Zoom meetings because it connects through to Acuity, and all of our meetings are then linked up via Zoom. So we use Zoom for that one as well. Okay, we use Eventbrite for our tickets and registrations, and I get asked this question every time, why Eventbrite and why not another tool? Eventbrite integrates with Facebook. It means that we can create the event on Facebook. It then creates the it then creates we can then share and use Facebook's tools to market with Eventbrite. It also puts us in front of the Eventbrite directory, and the more events and more ticketing registrations we have, the better it is. It also syncs through to our Mailchimp tool, so our registration, when it comes through for a particular workshop event, the nurture sequence that's going to go through via Mailchimp all hits in there. And then we've also got it set up so that it syncs through for our Zoom. So we've got to use Zapier, and Zapier is one of the other tools I'll talk to you about in a little bit. It syncs through with Zapier to create the Zoom sessions for our webinars and all of those sorts of things. So we've got it definitely set up to work for us. It talks with all of our tools, and that is why we choose Eventbrite. And the Blogging for Business retreat that I just ran, we had one of our tickets, so 4 out of the 5 attendees I knew. One came just purely from the Eventbrite directory. So from a marketing point of view and being seen in a directory where people trust for events, that's another reason we use Eventbrite, coming through that area from there. And the final one in the running the business section, and maybe I could cross-section a few of these, is LastPass. And we use LastPass for our password management, because just in those organization tools, who can remember all those passwords? I definitely can't. And using the same password creates a security breach. So we use LastPass. It helps us create secure passwords. It helps us manage passwords, but it also means that we get our clients to use LastPass as well. And if they want to share a password with us, not emailing it to us, we get them to add it to us via LastPass. We don't see their passwords, and it just keeps it all a little bit more secure and encrypted along the way. I need a sip of coffee. It's a long list we're going through today. Okay, so that covers the list as I had it for running our businesses and doing those sorts of things. Our course creation, content creation is most probably the next one, and this is the one that you guys really want. You keep asking me, how do we do this? Our content creation area is definitely the next list of tools. I'm just going to post that into the comments here so that you've got all the links as we go along with the content creation tools, but they are very, very much up the top. If you need it, they are up the top of this. The full list is up the top of the live broadcast today, I believe. I'm hoping it is. But I'll also pop it in one big comment list when we get back as well. Okay, so for content creation, we use Phrase, and Phrase helps us come up with ideas, and it searches the web, and it helps us look at questions that people are being answered, and it helps us optimize our blogs for keywords. Now, Phrase is actually really new to our toolkit. We only discovered it late last year, but it saves us a massive, massive amount of time when we're looking at optimizing our existing content that's out there, because you can take an existing blog post, run it through it, and optimize it. It also allows us to be able to look at keywords, and if we're ranking for a keyword, or we get something in on a Google Search Console report, we can put that keyword in there and really delve into it. But we're also using Phrase in-house to optimize some of our sales copy so that we rank better on Google as well. And look, you can start with a free account with Phrase, or you can move up to the paid accounts as well. We're on a paid account. And we're finding that it works really well. We get about 30 searches a month. And look, that's a lot to search for, to make sure you've got keywords and optimizations. And one of my people who just attended our blogging retreat on the weekend, she'd actually optimized 5 blog posts through Phrase when she got back. And, you know, it's handy to make sure that we are optimized for search and we're staying ahead of those trends. So it's a very handy tool when it comes to that. Also comes up with a list of questions. So once you've written your blog post, a list of places you can find questions like on Quora and that, and go and answer those questions. The other one we use for content creation, especially when it comes to ideas, is Answer the Public. And Answer the Public, you get 3 searches a day, and it's a little search tool, and you can type in what you're wanting to rank for. So whether it's a business consultant or keyword, whatever it is, and then it comes together and it puts together a little bit of an ideas wheel and a preposition wheel about what people are searching for and how popular those searches are as well. Very handy tool to use when we're looking at our content creation ideas. So they're my 2 favorites. Definitely Phrase for SEO and for ideas and optimization, Answer the Public for content ideas. Canva is the tool that we use for graphic creation. Unless I'm hiring a graphic designer or we've got one graphic designer working in our team, we'll use Canva in-house. So for our social media graphics, for our templates, for thumbnails and cover images like you've just seen on today's Tips Tuesday session, it is what we use. I've had access to the Adobe Suite before. I love it. I keep thinking I want to go back, but 99% of what we need to do in-house for our branded graphics can be done in Canva. And then we go and hire the professionals when we need some graphics that are, you know, logo designs and those sorts of things. So we'll go and hire a professional team when we're working on that. And that just means that we focus on what we're doing well, which is creating short, sharp, edgy graphics. And we leave the graphic designers to create and design, do what they need to do from there. We also use a little app on our phone called WordSwag, and it's a text overlay on images, and it's a very handy little one for creating memes or creating tips or creating conversational pieces along the way. So that's a very handy video inside our tool that you can have on your mobile phone to be able to do that. We might have to come back and actually do a whole mobile phone tool series because there's quite a few in there that I maybe haven't included on this list. For full video editing, so from end-to-end video editing, we use a tool called WeVideo. It's a cloud-based editing tool. It allows you to do both green screen and 2 camera pieces along the way. It's a very, very handy tool. We have used that since 2010 when we started doing video for family capers. I've tried Chemister, I've tried some of the other ones out there, but I do love the cloud functionality of WeVideo. We do love the ability to be able to come back and forth and work with it. And once you start and you can set up your templates in there, it's really good. And it comes with some stock video along the way that works really, really well. So for our full video editing, you can edit up to 2 hours of video content in there, and make sure that you're being able to do it all on the cloud base. And once again, I can work on a file, the team can work on a file, and I'm a big believer in trying to keep things so that we can all get in and work on it from time to time is a big one for us from there. Sorry, guys. The other tool that we use is Animoto, and we use Animoto for short ads, and they're templated videos and they're optimized for social posts, so for social videos or for social ads. So we use Animoto to do those sorts of things, and we even use it to make some Facebook cover videos along the way. So it's a very handy tool to use moving through for cover videos, for short optimized videos, for Instagram ads, for stories, for reels, for all of that sort of stuff. It's a very, very handy tool to use. And that's what we use Animoto for, and it's very, very cool to being able to, you know, create short little promo videos. Once again, you've got access to a little bit of stock in there, but you can use your own images as well, and it's a very handy tool. Now, there is one that we use for those of you who don't want to get in front of the camera, or we've got a really text-heavy sales page and we want to break it up a little bit, and that is called Lumen 5. And Lumen 5 takes the text that you have on a blog post or something and allows you to create a short little video snippet for it, or the sales page, and create a short little video that's going to promote what you're doing, whether it's your blog post. So handy to use in Instagram, handy to use on Facebook, handy to use as a reel, you know, or a TikTok, maybe not so much a TikTok video, but a reel or a YouTube Shorts video, you know, just that short, sharp 30, 60-second grabs. Lumen 5 is very good at it. It's optimized. You take the text, its AI goes and looks at putting right images and video clips alongside it. It does take a little while to get to know you, but a very handy tool along the way to use from there, to be able to take text from video. And for those of you who don't like to get in front of the camera, it is one way to start with video. without having to jump in front of the camera along the way. Okay, the other tool that we use in-house, and I use quite a lot, is this one that I'm using right now, which is Streamyard, where I go live, and I'm live on both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. Now, I played all around with streaming platforms. Streamyard was the simplest and the most easiest to use for us. So we've used it. You can see that I've got branding. I've got Tips Tuesday branding on one side. I've got the live branding. I've got my logo. I can screen share. We can do lots of things and bring lots of people throughout the process. And it handles my little, live introduction piece as well along the way. It's a very handy tool for me, able to go live in both places. And I really have seen the increase of these Tips Tuesday sessions being watched and taken in the world of YouTube along the way. And that has been huge. So that's what I use to go live. It also allows me to pre-program my live so that you get advanced notice from there. Okay, other video tools that we use TubeBuddy for video optimization in YouTube. So it looks at making sure that we've got the right tags. It suggests tags that we should be ranking for. It makes sure that we've optimized the video for the right end cards, and it's got handy little checklists in it. It's a very, very handy tool to use. And we see that the videos that we spend our time optimizing through TubeBuddy get a better result. They get seen better, they rank better, and they tend to do better. And there's that checklist itself in TubeBuddy, if you use nothing else, is handy to make sure that you've added your end cards, you've added your promotional tools, you've got the tags, suggested tags right, you've added it to playlists, and you follow their little marketing and social share stuff just to make sure that you are getting the right views. It's a very, very handy tool inside that space. Okay, for podcasts, from our podcasts, when you've got audio, you've got I'm sure we've all seen them, those little videos that create little waveforms, and they've got an image and a little bit of a wave text over it. We use Headliner to be able to create those. Once again, Headliner is one of those apps you can start with for free, or you can upgrade and go pro and try a little bit of the pro features as well. So we use it to create little grabs for our Instagram stories, for our Instagram posts, for Pinterest, for all different spots from there, because Pinterest is preferencing video. So what better way than to use tools like Lumen and Animoto to take those stuff that we've got and then link it through to your blog posts with your Pinterest and those sorts of things as well. So it's a very cool tool that we use from there. We use Whooshka as our podcast host, and they're an Australian-based company. I use the Crisp app to reduce the background noise levels on my video and audio that we're recording. So as well as using a good mic, it's about reducing the background noise. I could have, heavy metal playing here, for example, and you most probably wouldn't hear it right now. We use Bouncecast to heal our audio, and Bouncecast is a handy little tool that you can run your audio through. So once you've got your podcast edited or you have recorded and you've got some background noise, it's just this little lovely little desktop-based tool that you can take things through and heal the audio through that process. So you run it through, hit the little heal button, it reduces, balances out the noise level, tries to remove the background noises. You still have to remove your ums and ahs along the way if you wish to, but it's a very, very handy tool from there. We use Audacity for our audio editing to remove those ums and ahs if we choose to. I tend to like talk to be very natural. Clive's Business Conversations podcast, though, is quite heavily edited, and we use Audacity to do that. And then we use Rev to transcribe and add the captions to videos. So we'll use Rev, we'll sync it up to the YouTube channel, or load the file up there, and we'll get a caption file, which is the captions, the SRT file that will go both on Facebook and YouTube. It'll do that for us, and we use it to maybe have something transcribed if there's an audio piece or something that we need transcribed along the way. The link I've included for Rev actually includes a $10 coupon for you as well. So you're able to jump in and get started and try that little coupon along the way. Now, the reason we transcribe our videos for YouTube is YouTube Google cannot rank or index the text, the video itself without having a transcription. So that SRT file, that making sure that the words that you've mentioned are correct, really helps the optimization component of your YouTube video reaching out even further. And the same for Facebook. Facebook is great, but what you say on video, it can't index. So you do definitely want to be able to share those tools and those tips along the way that are going to help you with that content. So you definitely want to do do that. And look, Rev is the way that we do it. It's simple, it's easy, it gets all the information out there for as well. And finally, to finish off our session today, I'm looking at our marketing and our automation tools, and I'm going to pop them into the chat for you as well so that they're all here and you've got the links and everything along the way. So what do we use in our marketing and our automation? Well, Zapier, which is one that I already spoke on. Zapier links our tools together. So it links Salesforce together. It links, our Zoom and our Eventbrite. It links Thinkific to being able to move people through to newsletters, and there's lots of handy zaps around. For those of you who are in the Course Creator Circle, there is a replay fully on handy zaps that you can use in your course creation journey. So I do suggest you go and have a look at that one, because it's definitely one that I think is definitely a handy tool when it comes to making sure that as course creators we link things together. But it zaps people across from newsletters. It makes sure that we're integrated along the way. It also automates things like when a post goes live on Media Connections, it goes out to our social channels straight away. So lots of things that we use Zapier for in-house. Handy tool, been in our toolkit, yes, God, since about 2009 too. MediaEgger is another one. MediaEgger is our social media programming tool that we use, and what we use to automate our evergreen content. So those tips, those great images that we're creating, our Pinterest pins, and we use it to go to Pinterest, we use it to go to Facebook, we use it to go to LinkedIn, and we use it to go to not so much Twitter. I tend to use Missing Letter for Twitter, but we might use the occasional post within Twitter. The reason we do this, and it goes to our groups, it goes to our Facebook pages, and it goes to our LinkedIn company pages and both of our personal profiles. The reason we use MediaEgger for this is it's because it manages our evergreen content. We can load our video files there, we can load our audio, we can load some links, and we can make sure that we've got lots of really good content going out across those sorts of things. Now, MediaEgger is driven by category bases, so we can work out what categories we need to be looking at. So, we might be promoting an event, so we'll make a category for that event, or we might be promoting a workshop, we'll make a thing for that. But we might have a series of like 5-minute marketing tips, or the Ask Linda series, which is continual videos that can go out in different areas, and based on the categories and based on the setup, we have that programmed. Now, what MediaEgger does is it allows that really good piece of content that you created to be shared over and over again, so that you don't forget to share that promo for your book, to share that really strong tip that you think everyone knows. It's all out there being out in cycle, and it goes through older posts and your posts. And if you're wanting to have a really deep dive into MediaEgger, we've got a few skills webinars replays on the BBB website. So if you head to business.com.au/skills, it'll take you through some walkthroughs on Edgar, and I've got a few on my YouTube channel as well. The next tool we use in our automation one is Missing Letter. Now, what Missing Letter does, it does a few things now. Actually, it does a few more things than what we actually got signed up for ages ago. Missing Letter takes your blog post. So, and you can set it up via RSS feed, so it's automatically doing it, and there's going to be a feed there for you. It takes that blog post and it creates, by default, 9 social media posts to be shared over 12 months. So we're all really good at writing our blog posts. We get very excited about putting it out there, and then we forget to market it. Day 1 we're good, day 2 we're good, day 3 we're good. Day 5, we maybe forget, day 4. So it's all about making sure that it's consistently marketed over time. And once again, an evergreen blast is really, really huge to make sure that we are continually marketing our content out there. So that's another tool that we use. It's essential in my toolkit because we definitely use it with different things for need. But you can even set it up that it goes 2 weeks, 30 days, however quickly you want to get your schedule and your campaign out there, it's good. And what it does do is its little AI brain works, and it selects the key statements from that blog post. So it also cuts down the writing time. And, we've had some really good ones, and we'll switch them actually across between MediaEgger, or we might create social images as well as Missing Letter. So it's a good tool that we use across the board, not only just for creating the post itself, but going, oh, that's a key message we actually should be using on our Instagram, for example, or on our Facebook, or on our Twitter profiles as well, on our Pinterest profiles as well. So we'll take those key situations out of there, and we'll get it run from there. Mailchimp is our email platform and our email nurture sequence campaign builder that we use. So we use Mailchimp to set up our automations and our email sequences. I'm a Mailchimp girl. We've been using Mailchimp for many years. We have tried and used other platforms, but it seems to be the one that works for us and delivers the campaigns in the right area. There are a few Mailchimp users who are out there, and Mailchimp have changed their layouts and systems. Once you get your way around it, you do understand it and you do work with it. But I can understand that changing things, it can always be fun. And finally, for Instagram, we use the Tailwind app. We were using Later, and Later is a great tool, but we have just moved into the world of Tailwind. And there's a couple of reasons we moved to Tailwind. One was the amount of accounts that we had to run, and it was more cost effective for the business here. Number two was that it has this lovely suggested grid and optimized times, and it starts to optimize your delivery of your Instagram posts. And when you're managing your most social media and platforms out there, that optimization is really huge. Now you can use Tailwind for Pinterest as well. We don't. Well, as I said, we use MediaEgger for that, and that's because if we put 5 or 6 pins in MediaEgger, we'll keep recycling those pins so that the boards come out, and you can pin up to 50 pins a day on Pinterest. I don't know about you, but I don't have time to create all those graphics. So being able to reuse and repurpose that content is really huge for us. But Tailwind is great. It also has a lovely little grid thing that helps you work out what you should be sharing. So, you know, an inspiring post, a connection post, a promotional post, a question, so you can create and boost your engagement. So I'm quite impressed with Tailwind. We are in-house. We think we went through, we tested about 5 or 6 auto planners, and it does auto post to Instagram for you. It just doesn't auto post stories. So that's something but no planner does at this stage. No planner auto post programmer auto post stories along the way. So that's it, guys. That's the tools that we have in our toolkit. The main reason we use all of these tools is it increases our productivity. It increases our delivery, and it's meant that we're able to focus on spending more time with clients, more time creating content like this to be able to share with you, and more time being able to get out there and share your message. For those of you who have joined me for the first time, thank you. This was a very, very long Tips Tuesday. I do tend to only keep them to about 15, 20 minutes, but this was a question that I had been asked. What tools do we use? How do we use them? And I thought that I had a little bit of time before we start the course creation kickstart this morning to jump in and share them with you along the way. If you have any questions, please ask. I am in training all day today, but I will come back and answer them when I can. Otherwise, I'll see you next Tuesday when we come back for our next Tips Tuesday session. And if you give Facebook just a little while and YouTube just a little while, this video will be ready for you to watch if you're joining me in the last few minutes, so you can tap in and see what tools we're using in-house. And if you use any of them, let me know. I'd love to see how they're working for you. Thanks, guys. I'll see you around soon. Bye.